Colt Cabana is a cool dude with whom I went to Disney World. He was also my partner on Ring of Honor television for nearly 3 years. But right now, Colt Cabana is doing what he does best. He's a professional wrestler for All Elite Wrestling on TNT every Wednesday night. Colt took a minute out of his schedule to talk toys with me right now.
Hey, Colt, I missed you.
Ian, my life has been very empty without you, although at this point it's empty with so many people right now, so it's all good.
Yeah, well,
How are you?
congratulations.
Thank you. I like your, before you congratulate me, I like your blazer.
Oh,
Is this an everyday blazer? Oh, I see you're wearing Zubaz. You probably didn't want those exposed, but I can see them.
these are birthday gifts from you to me. From
That's right.
who? The guy up in Minnesota.
Eric Cannon,
Yeah.
the Zubaz man. He was the Zubaz hookup.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you. And I'm wearing the shirt that you threw on at Madison Square Garden because remember you started the the show shirtless because someone took your shirt.
And that was the shirt?
Well, you got like a shirt like this. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought you took my actual shirt that I was wearing.
That would have been the weirdest thing I did. Remember the time I accidentally crawled into your bed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. Bless your heart.
Yeah, I'm a sleep talker and a sleep yeller, and Colt's never revealed that, thankfully, but now I have. So
yeah, you buried your own bones? I don't know. Okay.
Well, let's talk about something a little less strange. Let's talk about Little Plastic Man. So
okay.
You have a couple. You have Figures Toy Company one, and then you have the ones that I collect. I collect all the micro brawlers. Oh, we have.
Look at that.
Now,
of course, now the Figures Toy Collect, they aren't available at my website, but those two other ones, coltmerch.com, they are in my closet right there. And if you want to purchase them, I will ship them to you. Right now, I'm at, do I have a $5 sale? I have a $5 sale right now to the end of the month, but I don't know if those are on sale. But I'll see these before we get into it. Like, I'll see some of these like for like 20, 30 bucks on eBay. And I'm like, yo, they're 10 bucks at my website. What are you doing? But
there's a lot of stuff like that. There's a couple that are still available on Pro Wrestling Tees that routinely go for $20 and $30 that you can buy for $11.99, plus shipping or whatever from Pro Wrestling Tees. So blown away by that. You kind of helped create these though, right? I mean, you're
I didn't create them, but I was the first. Of course, the relationship with myself and Pro Wrestling Tees is one of, you can see the documentary on YouTube. Like, basically, the owner of 1 Hour Tees and I, we kind of created Pro Wrestling Tees together. And so at the office, it was 5 minutes from my house. I had to move out of my studio apartment. Now it's 10 minutes from my house. And so obviously, whenever he's starting anything, Ryan Barkin, I'm kind of the go-to for everything because he knows I'll say yes to everything, and I'm happy to do everything. So actually, it's not really a spoiler, but there's a new prototype of a kind of new action figure that's coming out, and I will be the first one. So that's the most I will tell you, courtesy of Pro Wrestling Tees. There's something new coming out, and never. It's not like the FTC. It's not like the micro brawler. It's something new, and it will be me. So that's exciting. I'm always the first. So yes, I was the first of the micro brawlers, and the little history of that. They all have this thing on here, but the very first one, I was the only one that didn't have one, and it was just in a plastic container. And I don't know if those are valuable or not, but they might be.
Yeah, there's a couple that are really valuable, like the British Bulldog one, for God knows what reason, just isn't around anymore. And then there's a couple that have more than one. You were the first here too. You have more than one micro brawler.
Yeah, I think it's me, Joey Ryan, Okada, and maybe a couple others have more than one. But again, I'm in the office as many times a week as I want, so I make the calls. I think Joey Ryan was the first one to have two, and I was like, "Are we making two?" And he's like, "Oh, I did." I was like, "Then." He's like, "Oh, okay, no problem." And he's like, "Well, what would I do?" And then I said, "Well, obviously I have a beard now, and then obviously I think a jacket would be and a headband, and so that's the difference between the two." And the back says professional wrestler, and there's a couple different molds of the beard. At first he wanted to do this weird pencil, and it It looked very weird. I liked how it came out. Brian Myers of the Major Wrestling Figure podcast, he says I don't have that thick of a beard, and he was like kind of like, hey, he goes, you got a big Josh beard now, and I was like, he's like, in this you got a big Josh beard. You don't have that. You kind of have a thin one, but I think I think it matches. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's a match.
Thanks.
Now you're gonna drive me crazy. I'm gonna come over and sort through every microballer to see if there's the variant. And
I mean, we can go to if you go into Ryan's office at Pro Wrestling Tees, I mean, they're all lined up, so it's pretty cool. And I'll always go and see who the new ones are, and then when I think there's not enough microballers, he'll be like, "We're gonna do one for this one for this one for this one." I was like, "Oh yeah, I guess you could do as many as." There's a lot of people that have microballers made up.
Yeah, and one of these people in this conversation just saw his drawing. So.
Oh yeah, I saw yours a while back.
Yeah,
a long time back, and I knew that was coming.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Exciting for you, right?
Yeah, it's kind of valid. It's this weird validation. Did you have any kind of feeling like that?
I mean, you have to understand that, like, I know the guy who's making them. It's not like someone was like, "This guy's going to make us tons of money," that was just like a guy, that. And then for the Figure Toys company, I mean, the deal they cut us wasn't good at all. So it's not like I'm seeing so like I wasn't super excited because it was just kind of a thing that these guys were making, and monetarily it really wasn't that big of a deal. But Hawkins kept on saying, like, you have to have a toy. And at that point, I just didn't think I was going to be in a position with anybody ever that would make me a figure. So I was like, fine, I'll have someone make me a figure. And now, luckily now, signing with AEW, they're starting to churn these figures out. So hopefully, one day I'll have a figure for like a real figure by not a real toy company, because a Figure Toy Company is a real company, but, supported by like a big system, like almost put on the shelves if possible.
Yeah, I mean they've already announced they're going to be in Walmart, they're going to be in Target, so right. There's definitely apples and oranges there. Yeah.
That would make my heart a little like happier, as opposed to a company doing that and basically saying like, Colt, will you sell these for us, and tweet everybody, which is like, well, I could just put up my own figure, and I basically did with the micro roller. So
yeah. Well, when you were a kid, I know you collect odds and ends now from all your travels. When you were a kid, did you ever collect action figures or?
Yeah, of course. LJNs. I was, the original LJNs. I remember being at Walgreens. I was probably 4 or 5 years old, and Snuka, Andre, Big John Studd, Hulk Hogan, and the Iron Sheik. Those were the 5. And I remember being a kid and seeing those, and my mind was blown. That the thing I loved so much all of a sudden had a thing in stores that I could then take home. And then obviously I collected all the LJNs that I could. And then the first series of the Hasbros, I got those. And then after that, I started to kind of fizzle on collecting action figures. I thought I was a little too grown at that point.
Did you ever collect the AWA action figures? I know you're a Midwest guy.
My friend Jordan Glickson, who would collect wrestling figures with me in elementary school, he had some AWAs, but I don't think we knew where to get them. They weren't at that point, let's say it was in 1987 or 88. They weren't really in the stores like around us, or they weren't in the Toys R Us, and maybe a weird KB Toys here and there, but I kind of only went to Toys R Us and maybe a KB Toys here and then, so here and there, and then Walgreens, had WWF figures, but I don't know where the AWAs would have been. I don't know, were they in just like standard Toys R Us's?
I've seen KB Toy ads with them printed on there, but I've never seen a Toys R Us ad for it. I've never seen.
And we didn't have KB Toys like right near us, so it was like a far trip to go to KB Toys, which means I didn't go there as much as I did to Toys R Us.
Yeah, we hardly have any of those at all. Like when I was growing up, you could find the LJNs at yard sales and flea markets and wherever. But if you saw a Remco, it was like, ooh, what's this?
Yeah. Yeah, but for me, my generation of LJNs, they were in Toys R Us. They were on the slot. They were on the pegs. It was a big deal. It was a very big deal. I remember finding Corporal Kirshner, and my mom was like, you can't have, you don't have any money. And I was like, but I need Corporal Kirshner. He's never been on the shelf. Like, someone's going to take this. And then I made her buy it, keep it in the closet, and then when I got the money, I could buy it off of her. So,
Amazing.
yes.
Is your favorite LJN still Ted Arcidi?
I love that Ted Arcidi. I'll be honest. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just a gem. There's a lot. I have a lot of favorite LJNs, and I have a soft spot for Arcidi. I really do. I like the Ricky Steamboat with the hands. I always like that. Those hands. I don't like that Ravishing Rick Rude. We all know that.
No, it's just the.
What are you gonna do? You gonna forearm people like this? Come on.
Well, before I let you go, one of the things that I know you do collect is records, and I've seen some photos of your previous, and you've got some really cool like wrestling photo records and records from Japan and all kinds of.
This one's just sitting in my office right now. This one, I don't even have a place. It's just sitting there. I don't even have a place for it. This is Wrestling Rocks. This is just a collaboration of different ones.
I saw Baron von Raschke on the cover.
Yeah, let's see who's in here. I don't know if I know how to flip this or not. All right.
I think if you tap yourself, it should flip.
Have I been flipped?
Not yet.
I'm just going away. Oh, tap myself, maybe?
Oh, there you go. Oh, you flipped temporarily. There you go. Oh, we're flipping. There
we go. Okay. So, what do we got on here? Wrestlers just wanna bust heads. I know all these. The Body Rules. Son of a Gypsy by Boogie Woogie Man. Captain Lou. Breaking Bones by Exotic Adrian Street. So those are some I have there. And then if you want to follow me into, we'll go into the. All right, hold on. I'm walking here. And then we'll check out. This is the wall here. So I got a nice wrestling album. The Sergeant Slaughter album he signed to me because I was sitting next to him at a WrestleCon. Freddie Blassie at an Adrian Street. This was given to me by DJ Z. Grab them cakes.
That one's pretty rare.
This one is?
Yeah, I've looked for that one, and it doesn't turn up. It's not expensive,
beaten up. It's weird because it says the wrestling album, so it's it was maybe an offshoot of the wrestling album. I'm not really sure. This is one. These two are my favorite here. These were the first two I got. This is Terry Funk's horrible album from Japan, 1983. Jimmy Hart wrote all the songs, and then Terry Funk paid him to write them. And then Hulk Hogan has an album in Japan, which is also pretty awful. I believe it's from the early 80s. I got the Crush Gals up here. They sang, they were legends in Japan for the All Japan Women. And then I have a Kabuki album. And when I would go to Japan, we go to Great Kabuki's restaurant all the time. And he would, he became our friend. So he would, what's it called? I don't know, he signed it for me. And then I got 4 other here as we'll make our way up. Hold on. Let me turn this. I don't know if you can see. These are, what are they called when they're a little smaller?
EPs?
EPs or 40s or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then these are Japanese ones. This is another Hogan album. Anoki, Tiger Mask. And this is one of my favorite. This is Beauregard from Portland territory in the 70s. And Beauregard was the first person ever to write his own theme music.
Wow.
And he put out an album just in Portland territory, and it's called Testify. And now I own it.
That's incredible. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And also there's my Ribera jacket.
Oh, very cool.
Thank you. That's all the albums I have. I really like. I know there's a lot of albums out there, but I don't want to. I don't want to just get an album for getting an album's sake. I just want to get the cool ones and then kind of frame them up a little bit.
Yeah, you got the cream of the crop too. So.
Thank you. I wish I could get that Freddie Blassie one signed, but I can't. I keep on bringing the Terry Funk one to conventions, but he's getting really old now, and he's canceling off all these conventions. And who knows the next opportunity I'm going to get to have him sign something. So I hope, the next time he's around, I can get him to sign my album.
Yeah, no, that'd be cool. And I'll keep my eye out too. There's a lot of folks that deal in that kind of stuff. So maybe the Freddie Blassie one will turn up. I know
there's one on eBay. I've seen one on eBay signed before, but
yeah. Well, cool. Well, thanks for catching up, Colt. It's good to see you.
Good to see you. I'm glad you're finding something to do during this pandemic. And hopefully we can see you down the road. If you want this shirt, it's prowrestlingtees.com/Colt Cabana. I said this on national television the other night. And also all the microballers are at coltmerch.com.
Cool. And say hi to Tony Schiavone for me. He's a nice dude. We're both from the Lehigh Valley, kind of. He's from like a mile north. So, yeah, two Italian guys from Lehigh Valley.
I will. And I know no one wants to hear any of this. This should be talk outside of this little deal. But I was watching something on YouTube about this kid MMA fighter who's like a prodigy who's 9 years old, and he lives in Allentown. Do you know him?
No way. No. I know most of the people in Allentown, but not him.
He was a prodigy.
Wow. I'll have to look him up.
They were like, you won't believe how good this 9-year-old is at MMA.
That's awesome.
So, you should announce his matches.
I should. Get on that train quick.
That's right.
Cool. Well, thanks, Colt. It was good to see you. Good to talk to you. And stay safe. Stay inside and order food and all that fun stuff. Yeah. Oh, no. All right. See ya.